my Michael movie review, full spoiler review. And yes, there will be spoilers, of course. Hit that subscribe button, like up this video if you want to join the Elite 2K Squad. And without further ado, let's get into this Michael movie. Starting off with Jafar Jackson playing his uncle, Michael Jackson. Michael Joseph Jackson. He killed, first of all, he killed the role. That's all I gotta say. He embodied Michael like every time he's on screen. His mannerisms, his personality is very, when I say very identical to his uncle Mike. And Jafar, I want to say you did a great job, my brother. I can't wait to see you in Michael Part 2. And yes, Part 2 is confirmed by the end credits. And every scene he's in, like when he's talking to his father, Joe Jackson, who's played by Coleman Domingo, who portrays Michael Jackson's father, Joe Jackson. When Jafar is on screen talking with him when he had nose surgery and he's coming home and he's trying to hide it from his father steps out and he finds out like, what do you do to your face and stuff? And he was like puzzled. Yeah, when he's talking, you can just like, you would think, oh man, that's Michael Jackson right there. That is Michael. He literally embodying his uncle. You did a great job, Jafar. Moving on to Giuliano. Oh, and let me tell you before I move to Giuliano, the dancing, Jafar's dancing is on point to his uncle. He got it all down pat. All down pat. Great job, Jafar. Moving on to Giuliano Cruz, who's cast as the young version of Michael Jackson in the movie. He killed it just like Jafar. Dance, mannerisms on point. Very similar to young Michael Jackson. He even looked like him. He had the afro and everything, moving his feet. I say, get it, Giuliano, get it, Giuliano. Get it, Giuliano, get it, Giuliano. And he talks like Michael, young Michael. And I believe director Antoine Fuqua said he blended both of Jafar's and Giuliano's vocals with Michael Jackson. So it's both of their vocals and the actual Michael Jackson's vocals. So I like that. I did not know that. He said that in an interview. I don't know which interview. He said that with an interview, I believe with IMAX. But yeah, Giuliano killed it. And Coleman Domingo as Joe Jackson. Oh man, I did not like his character in this movie. Well, it's not really a character, he's a real person, but you know what I mean. Like the way he portrays Michael's father, Joseph Jackson, being abusive, like whooping Michael Jackson, like when they got home from rehearsal, you thought they would do good, and then just whoop them because they didn't get that part right. They didn't sing that high enough. They didn't sing that low enough. They didn't move while they was dancing. He would just whoop them like that, straight whooping of being abusive, which unfortunately in real life happened to Michael Jackson. So they portrayed it in this movie, which I did not know, but yeah, they're gonna take Michael's story and put it in a movie, so they have to get aspects like that. But the way Coleman Domingo acts as Joe Jackson, he really embodies Joe Jackson. Like it make you it make you like hate his character so much that you want to just punch his face. But yeah, but I mean, Joe Jackson did create Michael. Not like that, because God created it. So I mean like create the star in Michael. He made the star come out in a very disrespectful and rude way by whooping him and abusing him and his brothers. And speaking of the Jackson 5, the guys who were cast as the Jackson 5, Michael Jackson's brothers, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, and is that all? Yeah, I think that's all. And Jackie Jackson. They look just like the actual brothers. If you go to what the actual brothers used to look like, they look exact. I'm glad they casted these bros because they look. I know they put makeup on and stuff to make them look more like these people, but already they was already looking like these dudes. Which, hey, but anyway, yeah, they killed it. They killed it, but you didn't get much screen time with them. But I understand this movie is about Michael, not his brothers. But I just wish we got a little bit more screen time with them besides the basketball court scene where they didn't want to play Twister with Michael. But how dare you don't want to play Twister with Michael? I would have played Twister with Michael. Yeah, I would have played Twister with Michael. They said, nah, that's corny. Sorry, Marlon got a date tonight. Oh, we busy. We gotta go to Walmart. We gotta eat some Chick-fil-A. Bro, play that Twister game right now, or I'm coming to find you. You better play that Twister game with Michael Jackson. All right then. But yeah, it was kind of sad, but I understand they getting older and they didn't want to do, you know. Michael was the youngest, so I get that. But yeah, they didn't get much screen time, but they was still good characters, still good scenes. I just wish we got a little bit more. But Nia Long portrays Michael Jackson's mother, Katherine Jackson. Yeah, she killed the role. That's all I gotta say. She killed the role. She really acts like Katherine Jackson. She really acts like a mom in this movie. And what do I mean by that? I mean, like, when you're watching her on screen when she's talking to young Michael, played by Giuliano, at the dinner table at the house, she was talking about how Michael was talking about how the other kids don't treat him as a real kid because they just want to get cameras and pictures. She really acts like she's your mother. Like, that's how real and like that's how real the scenes feel to me. And the alone, you killed it. You killed it as Katherine Jackson. Moving on to John Bronco, played by Miles Teller, who played in an old, terrible remake of Fantastic Four that I will never be watching again. And I don't know too much about John Bronco. I believe he's still alive. Basically, John Bronco was the head of Michael's music, organizing his categories and keeping all his music intact. Basically copywriting stuff and keeping all that intact. I don't know too much about his character, but all I can say is, Miles Teller, you did a good job. You did a good job. That's all I gotta say. Sorry, y'all. That's all I gotta say. I don't know too much about John Bronco. Yeah, I don't. But the two Sony executives, I believe they're Sony executives. They did a phenomenal job. I do know about the Sony executives, and there's a theory that Sony has something to do with Michael Jackson's death, which that's a whole nother video. I ain't gonna get into that. I might make a theory channel. Tell me down in the comments if y'all want a theory channel. 2K theories. I don't know. I don't want to have too many channels, but 2K theories. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, they did a good job. Moving on to the Motown founders, which the first one is the wife. She actually appears when Giuliano, younger Michael, the young Michael's performing with his brothers, his classic hits, I Want You Back, The Love You Say, all those hits we know. And Ben wasn't in this movie, but she was talking about how, he has a special voice, which, Michael's music is phenomenal. Yeah, he has a special voice, and she wanted him to sign with Motown, his father. And speaking of Coleman Domingo, his facial expressions are very funny. Like, there's funny scenes in the movie, and the most funny scenes are every time with Coleman Domingo playing Joe Jackson. Like, there was a scene where, I'm gonna get back to the Motown owners, where Michael was on stage, played by Jafar, just the older version, and he was performing Working Day and Night, which is a Michael Jackson song you should go listen to. And Joe Jackson was looking like this when he found out Michael was ending the tour, which was a real event. If you go to a video, go to Michael Jackson Victory Tour when he announced when he's leaving. And he did it in front while the music was playing. His brothers was looking confused, like, what did this sucker say? Wait, what did Mike say? And his father was looking like this. His facial expression was so funny, I even giggled a little bit. But yeah, there are funny scenes in this movie. It's not like a completely musical movie. There are funny scenes in the movie. It is a biopic movie after all. So, especially, my most funny scenes are just Coleman Domingo scenes, like, and the Bubbles scene when we introduced the Bubbles and Michael brings Bubbles out, and LaToya, Katherine Jackson, and Joe and his brothers looking like, yo, he got a whole monkey at the crib. Bro, y'all just gonna let this happen? And it was funny how Bubbles was introduced, and Bubbles looked CGI. I doubt they used the actual monkey or the actual Bubbles, which I believe the actual Bubbles is still alive, I think. But what was I? Oh yeah, Motown owners. The other Motown owner, which is the husband of the wife, who also played the girl in Spider-Man: Homecoming, which you haven't seen that. It came out in 2017. Really good Spider-Man movie. Played by Tom Holland, who plays Peter Parker Spider-Man. But he's played by Lorenz Tate, and he's the Motown owner. I don't know his actual name, but he did a very decently good role. I love this scene where Joe Jackson Michael was in the studio singing his ad-libs for I Want You Back. Vocals for I Want You Back, and they were just bobbing their head like, Even the Jackson brothers got upset. Oh, Mike, get it, Mike? This is about to be a hit. We about to make some millions of dollars. I like how interactive they are. But Joe Jackson was like, he came up to the Motown owner who was at the desk and said, like, basically, I forgot what he said, but the guy looked back, the Motown owner, he said, we got this over here, Joe. Why don't you scoot your butt over there? He didn't actually say that, I just added that. But I like the comebacks, like, especially the comebacks mean like talking back to him, like thinking he can own Michael. You can't own Michael. There was another scene of, I was scared for Katherine Jackson, like Joe Jackson, played by Coleman Domingo, he went up to her and said, basically trying to be threatening to her. And she was like, you can't whoop him no more. He's an adult, Joseph. He's a Michael Jackson. He ain't no little boy anymore. And I like that comeback scene. She killed it in that role. Like, she had that mother swag in her. That blackness. All right, let me keep it proper, not ghetto. But anyway, yeah. And again, the choreographer and the dancing scenes are phenomenal. It make you move your body. And speaking of, and when I was in my theater was, it was like a hype crowd and like a dry crowd mixed in one, which is not a bad crowd. It's like a mixture crowd. Like they get hype at some moments. Sometimes they get dry at some hype moments that you're supposed to be hyped about, but still overall good crowd. More of an older crowd because a few people in the generation don't know who Michael Jackson is, but most of us know who the Mike Jack is. But the dancing scenes are amazing, especially Jafar. When you see that boy dance, you gonna move your body. But anyway, moving on to the songs. Oh my goodness, the songs: "Beat It," "Bad," "Human Nature," "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough," "The Love You Save," "Blame It on the Boogie." Even though "Blame It on the Boogie" is featured when Michael is teaching his Bubbles, his pet monkey Bubbles, about how to play Twister and telling him about Peter Pan. He want to create this land called, which becomes Neverland, which probably going to be explored in part 2. Because there was some leaked set photos that showed Jafar at Neverland. I don't know if it's the actual one or a prop version, but yeah, that's how he created Neverland from Peter Pan. His imagination runs wild. But "Blame It on the Boogie" doesn't get a music video, but it is featured. Some songs ain't going to get music videos, but it will be featured, like either sung or played throughout the movie in sequences. But I gotta start off with "Human Nature." "Human Nature," that is a really good performance. In the song, like when you hear these songs, it's like when you're in the theater, it feels like you're actually at a concert. This didn't feel like a movie, by the way. This did not feel like a movie. It felt like a whole concert, like you're actually seeing the real MJ live at a concert, and you were there in the crowd, like. And when you say, why does it do me that way? If they say, why, tell them that it's human. Like, it's so cinematic, it'll have you floating in that theater, like, it'll have you floating each song. Not just "Human Nature," but "Human Nature" is really good once you hear it. That performance is phenomenal. Jafar had to move down, like the neck shifting, the legs shifting, the moonwalk at the Billie Jean performance, and the way Billie Jean's played. Again, it's Michael's vocals and Jafar's vocals, but still it's good. It is the most incredible vocals I've ever heard. The mix between them, his uncle and Jafar. Thank you, Antoine Fuqua. Thank you. I'm gonna need you to give me that part 2, all right? Make sure you have "You Rock My World" in there. Remember to count all those bangers. But anyway, every song, including "Beat It," when he gets the idea to make "Beat It" when he's looking at a TV, a small TV, old style TV, because they didn't have fancy TVs, where he was talking about the news was talking about gang violence in America and how this shooting needed to stop in California because the West Coast, they're known for like dangerous gangs and thugs around there. But I love how he gets the inspirations for these songs, and "Beat It" just sounds loud and proud, so big, and you just be dancing. Like each song, you just be dancing. "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough," "Thriller," cause this is Thriller night. Each song will have you dancing. I almost got up and was dancing, but I was mostly shifting my arms and singing the lyrics. But it felt like a MJ concert. It did not feel like a movie, which is a good thing. It felt like our first Michael Jackson concert in this generation. It felt like a Michael Jackson concert. Can't wait for part 2. And what's the other song? "Bad" at the end of the movie, where it was actually at the beginning after the intro, and I'll get to the intro in a minute. Where he's walking down the tour walls, and then it shifts back to the 80s where Michael Jackson was young, played by Giuliano. Then at the very end of the movie, we go back to that scene of him still walking out, about to do the "Bad" song, "Cause I'm bad." And when I tell you, when he looks back at the camera, like, it looks like I saw Michael right there. Like, Michael's spirit embodied him, like, that's Michael right there. And when he finally performed the song, like, doing all that, I gotta show y'all I gotta show y'all. Hold up. When he was dancing and stuff, hopefully this is a good camera angle. Cause I'm bad. He had me dancing, singing, and it was just an amazing performance. In the audio in the theater, I don't know if they enhanced it for all these songs in the movie, but whatever they did, it sounded good. It sounded really good, and you just gotta go see it. Enough is said. You just gotta go see it. It's an amazing movie. Every time, especially "Human Nature," I know I'm blazing "Human Nature," but let me tell you, all these songs in the movie, it sounds good at a theater, in a theater. It'll sound good when it comes to home TV, but you have to see it at a theater. You have to hear that beautiful melodies marinate over your head. It sounds amazing. moving on to the ending, where we get confirmed Michael Part 2 is coming. It said his story continues, which is hence we're getting a Part 2. And they even filming set photos. And there was a feature performance that had Rock With You, Diana Ross, and Man in the Mirror, but they cut it out due to some legal issues with the Michael Jackson estate. They could only put certain things in here. And for the people, the critics, like I said in the out of theater reaction, they're so wrong. They're just messed up in the head. I don't know what they got going on. They just sit a little bust down somewhere, giving them the 27%. But don't believe them, because after that it got a 98% I believe on Rotten Tomatoes. That proves you the critics just want to see trials and allegations. And I know not everybody gonna love this movie, but who cares? Go see it for yourself. I had a good time. You're probably gonna have a good time. And unfortunately, the trials will be featured in Michael Part 2, because this era is way before that anyway. Like, they critics, you have a brain, use it. But yeah, it was way before, so that's why they didn't feature it. Why would they? They ain't stupid. But yeah, can't wait for Michael Part 2. Anton Fuqua, please, my man, give us that Part 2. Please, don't prolong it. Please let it release next year. Go start filming right now. You'll have a movie by the end of this year and just release it next year. Don't prolong it and film next year. Then we gotta wait until 2028 for Michael 2. No, give us it next year, around April. Film it right now. Chop, get to it. But anyway, yeah, the songs sound amazing. I know I keep talking about the songs. And yeah, and I don't got nothing else to say. Jafar, you put up a performance. You have to get at least 509 Oscars or Emmys. You have to get some nomination. You have to. I'll be surprised if not. You have to get something. And the other cast members too. But especially my boy Jafar. You killed that. He said, I'm bad. Jafar, you killed it. Can't wait to see you in Michael Part 2. Hopefully they made this make this movie a little longer, because I feel like we didn't get enough scenes. I wanted it to be more longer, but I get they couldn't put certain stuff in here, like Rock With You, Diana Ross, who's a singer that was, I believe she had a relationship with Michael Jackson, not like a romance, but like a friend relationship. And Man in the Mirror, hopefully it's a little longer, Michael Part 2. But yeah, and I'll rate this movie a 9 out, not a 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Yeah, I said it. You got a problem with it? Go cry it off somewhere. I give it a 10 out of 10. Best biopic movie of all time, in my opinion. Not your opinion, my opinion. Pepsi incident, that was like, when you see that scene when Jafar's coming down and he had the fire on his head, imitating his uncle's tragic commercial with Pepsi. And I guarantee you, if Michael was still alive, he would never do anything related with Pepsi again. I guarantee you that. Prove me I'm wrong. I'm not. But the way they showed off, like, to the audience how it would have looked if we was there, that looks so traumatizing and scary. It kind of made me tear up a little bit. And I'm not being dramatic when I say that. It actually made me tear up a little bit, because he actually went through that. Like, he got a burnt mark even when he passed in June 2009. Like, I'm sorry that happened to you, Mike. Sorry. The way they portrayed it, it looked so devastating. Sorry that happened to Michael Jackson. Yeah, Pepsi, y'all, count your days, Pepsi. Count your days, coming for you. But yeah, that Pepsi incident was messed up. All right, because Jafar, I know I'm saying Jafar a lot, but y'all have to understand, this man killed the role. Once you see this movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. Go watch that movie. 2K is out. Stay up, not down. Be the sound.
Hey, get in my way and try to block me, I'ma show aggression. Slide on your block like Danny Glover with a lethal weapon.